right, girls and gents, we've got a lot to speak approximately due to the fact over the last 24 hours we have been witnessing a few very large actions going on around crypto, mainly across the regulation and the last reputation and embracement of crypto in and across the US financial markets. But this is going to result in an acceleration across the board on the subject of the worldwide race to grow to be a crypto hub. And what I mean by means of that is almost every unmarried state proper now is in a race to grow to be the chief around this tech. Now, America honestly wishes a big piece of that pie due to the fact we understand that Trump has said that he wants to make the USA the crypto capital of the sector. And how do we do this? Well, we're going to concentrate to 3 movies from the latest convention with David. However, I additionally need to talk more about how the SEC simply completely flipped, and this is going to guide XRP in a huge manner. We in reality have plenty to talk approximately, so sit back, loosen up. Welcome to the channel, each person. For the ones which might be new to the channel, with a bit of luck by using the end of this video, you do come to be a subscriber. So allows dive on in, let's speak about what just came about, and allows surely cope with real quick the rate movement in this space, because I recognize that it truly is a huge deal to a number of you available. And proper now we are beginning to see dominance dropping around Bitcoin. That's superb to look. That is being usurped across the board. Now, proper now, we're seeing Bitcoin dropping from 100K, go into reverse, to 97 XRP, buying and selling around like 240. Now, I am recording this a bit beforehand of time, so price action is probably going to trade. I'm not too targeted proper now on the quick time period rate movement. I assume that this is just simply a dip in the marketplace. I will most possibly be doing a full-on updated view of the market for the noon video due to the fact, if you guys did be aware, sure, I do comply with the schedule, middle of the night, noon and 5 p.m. EST. But you understand I had been focused a touch bit on the actions throughout the board with regards to altcoins, and I have been looking a few altcoins waking up in a big manner. I suggest it's not anything like too loopy simply, but we are beginning to see a few best profits across the board. That's very good to see, and it's something that I assume everybody need to pay attention to, because it's miles displaying us that vintage cash are starting to advantage a little bit of momentum right now. But we nevertheless need to peer Bitcoin dominance lose at the least like 20% for the most important movements of the cycle to officially begin for plenty of old cash. But I'm absolutely maintaining a near eye on XRP right now, and I think all of us must, being made around the distance. Now, I do need to move lower back to January 16th, because again in January we heard loads from Brad Garlinghouse at this summit. Okay, now what he stated at this convention again in January turned into, with the most important capital markets subsequently embracing crypto and talk of crypto strategic reserves, and I suspect alternatively coming near US regulatory characteristic trade in adoption, is nearer than you observed. Now that is what we heard just over the past 24 hours from some massive players within the US. This is truly from the chairman of Bank and GOP, and this also does consist of his colleague, Senator Bill Hegarty, and also Loomis, in addition to Gillibrand, in introducing the Bipartisan Genius Act. This legislation, which gives a regulatory framework for stablecoins, will enlarge monetary inclusion and ensure the industry can innovate and grow right here inside the US. This is a massive bill. I want you men to recognize that the upcoming regulatory clarity around solid coins is now here. This is going to be a very huge deal. If this invoice receives surpassed, expect some fireworks to show up. Because if we go lower back to the list of strong cash, and we will simply go to Tether to truly form of see this, if we observe the stablecoin market proper now, if we scroll down, we can see all of those big strong cash. Now ROUSD hasn't been tracked nicely, we recognize that. For instance, if we honestly appearance up ROUSD on this list, okay, we are able to see that the extent and the market cap for this issue has not been well addressed. Sitting at approximately 53.1 million in phrases of marketplace cap, it is now not but, close to rivaling a lot of those huge gamers. We understand that there was a latest glitch in which this did surge to love over 600 million, but we're starting to move up the listing a chunk right here, which isn't always too awful. I would like to peer a little bit greater quantity, and I do trust that this is going to be going on very quickly once we do begin to see some of those movements being made. The huge factor is solid coordinate rules. We know that this has been in method for a while. I think that ever due to the fact going return to the summertime, whilst JP Morgan stated that you realize the US is going to have regulatory clarity for stablecoins very soon. I think that changed into already I think that kind of confirmed that this changed into already in manner. But we'll see what takes place with this. We'll certainly be focused on this quite closely over the subsequent couple days and even weeks, because I do suppose that this might be going to be one among the bigger updates that we do get in the quick time period. Now, allows communicate a bit about the long time right here. And after I say long term, I mean simply later this 12 months. So Brad Garlinghouse did quote David Sachs due to the fact there has been a massive conference the day gone by, and we have any complaint of today's press conference is genuinely lacking the woodland for the bushes. Having the chair of Senate Banking, the chair of House Financial Services, and the chair of Senate AG, the chair of House AG, join the crypto czar to devote to passing law for crypto clarity is 100% a big deal, and something we haven't seen earlier. Then let's pass lower back to that published. Imminent US regulatory readability. Check out this video clip from the conference the day gone by. This is discussing how the Trump management and Congress will paintings together to assist digital assets as President Trump directed in his Week 1 Gove order. Check this out. The president said in his executive order within the first week that it's the coverage of his management to support the responsible boom and use of virtual belongings, blockchain era, and related technology throughout all sectors of the financial system. And he established an executive department operating institution for virtual assets, which includes Secretary Besson at Treasury, Secretary Noam, soon to be showed, Attorney General Bonde, Secretary, and all of the other key management officers which have an equity in crypto. And similarly, the SEC has installation, a crypto project, pressure-led with the aid of Hester Peirce, which is also searching at this issue. And collectively, our objective is to perform the task the president assigned for us in his EO. That is to endorse a federal regulatory framework governing the issuance and operation of digital property consisting of stable cash inside the United States. I've talked to many founders over the past few years, and that they've instructed me again and again that the number one element they want from Washington is regulatory readability. They simply want to understand what the policies of the road are so that you can abide with the aid of them. We're coming off, frankly, 4 years of arbitrary prosecution and persecution of crypto agencies in which the SEC wouldn't inform founders what the guidelines were, however then they might prosecute them. And many founders have even instructed me tales of being debanked individually just because that they had based a crypto business enterprise. All of this method turned into driving this important generation of the destiny offshore. And we need to maintain that innovation onshore within the US. Financial property are destined to turn out to be digital, similar to each analog enterprise has become digital, and we need that fee introduction to show up inside the United States rather than giving it away to other international locations. This may even, I have to add, be a whole lot higher for purchaser protection because it's less complicated for regulators to supervise an interest whilst it's onshore. And it's in all likelihood now not a twist of fate that the single largest fraud within the records of crypto, which changed into FTX, become primarily based in the Bahamas. By transferring the innovation onshore, it is going to be simpler to split out the coolest actors from the horrific actors. And we need to inspire the good actors, the innovators, even as defensive the marketplace, from the awful actors.